Hello, Burt of the Hope Something 6 fame. You're now listening to part 2 of Burt's college life. We pick up where I go to graduate school at UF in the College of Business, with a major of Information Systems and Operations Management. Without further ado, this theme song.
Da-da-da-da-da, here's Matt. Da-da-da-da-da, there's Burt. Da-da-da-da-da, hope something sticks, blah, blah, blah.
So once I graduated, I started that program immediately. Now, I had to do it immediately. No, didn't technically have to go immediately into graduate school, and a lot of people wait. In my program, a lot of people did wait. There's people who were significantly older than me. For me, I knew I had to do grad school because I would never go back. I hated school so much. Like I like going to lectures and everything, but just like the studying and the homework of it, and just knowing like every free moment you have, it's in the back of your mind that you could be doing more studying. There was no like enough. There's like, okay, like you could set that for yourself, but you could still do more. Like you said like 2 hours a night. Like, well, you could do 2.5 hours. You could study a little bit more during the weekend. You could not get You could like not get blacked out drunk.
What? That was an option?
Yeah, so that was a part of
they should put that
school, I always say.
Underneath. That should be the motto of UF. You don't have to get blacked out.
But yeah,
go greater.
But anyway, the point is, I would never go back if I didn't just do it all at once.
That's most people now.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to go back to school after you're done with it or after you drop out.
Yeah, and all the power to people who do that. And I know some people who do, get their degree.
There were older people in my programs too, man.
Yeah.
I look back on them, I'm like, holy shit, how the hell did you do this?
Yeah, and a lot of them are doing it while they have their jobs. Like, damn.
Right.
Like they're still like, they have jobs, they're supporting their family, they have kids, and they find time to do that. Like, damn.
Yeah, they got full on lives, and they're going back and they're doing it again. I knew a guy who was like a Toyota executive at one point, and he just said, screw this shit. And he goes back to school to do urban planning at UF. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Damn. Yeah.
He must have really hated it.
Like, other people, he did. He really did.
So I was definitely the youngest person there. So when I started, I was still 20 in grad school.
That's amazing. That's, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. And when I got to grad school and started actually taking classes, like I really found out like what you were supposed to be doing this whole time, studying wise, because again, that was another level up as far as difficulty, being in that grad school program. That's when I really started freaking out, like after a while. And one weird thing was how lonely it felt being in that program, which is really weird because I had zero interaction with my classmates in psychology. I did not hang out with them at all. And it was like the same.
Well, there's 8 million of them.
It didn't matter. I had no need to talk with my fellow students in psychology. I either hung out with you, Danny, or the friends I had from Hillel, or and just went to Hillel like every Friday night.
Great soup. Grade A, world class, outstanding. Free.
Yeah, they had free dinner, and yeah, and there were girls there, so that was pretty much why.
There were some ladies there.
There were quite a few. I could say more spiritual or whatever. That is most the food. It's most of the food and women why I went every week. It's not like I went before college. So yeah, but I made a lot of friends there in Hillel too. A lot of interesting guys. So anyway, it was weird how alone I felt. Even like, and I'm still like rooming with you. I think Danny might have moved out by then. And he could tell you why once we do his episode.
We will get to that.
We will get to that.
We just got past the rickety dam. We're it's in the past. It's back there.
Yep.
We will circle back. Don't worry.
We'll say that was not my fault.
Okay. All right.
Anyway,
I had to get that in there. Huh?
Yeah, gotta put that in there. Because
gonna make
come out like an asshole.
The it's going to reverb off the canyon walls and break the dam. Okay?
All right.
You can't just can't yell back at it.
All right. That's enough. We'll get into that later.
We'll go back to it. We'll break it
yeah.
with a fucking sledgehammer. I'll be the first one to swing a hammer. No problem.
So, and yeah, that was the first semester there. Wasn't getting great. Like, I didn't get anything lower than a C, but I had to get at least 3.0 to graduate. And so I was mostly getting B's and C's the first semester. And
what'd you end up with?
I'll tell you at the end.
What do you mean at the end?
You mean end up with what for that semester or at the end of the program?
No, to get into grad school, you had to get a something.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember.
It was like
exactly. I don't remember exactly how many zeros were after that decimal point, but there were a few of them.
You mean graduating grad school?
No, I meant just getting into grad school.
No, that wasn't an issue. That was.
I thought that one was close too.
No, that was actually one of the few things that wasn't close. I did a lot better in psychology. Like, not good enough to like get into a PhD program, but it was like a solid, I don't know, like a 3.4, 3.2, like around a 3.4, I think. Like it was a decent GPA.
All right. Well, we can go back to. All right. So Danny's out.
Danny's
left. He's gone.
But yeah, you were still there. But yeah, I was still.
I wasn't going.
So I guess no. So yeah, this is getting into territory you don't know about. I would, on a nightly basis, just freak the fuck out, leave the apartment, and walk around the campus just freaking out about how I wasn't going to, finish grad school. I was going to flunk out. This is it. This is the end of my ability. I'm not going to be able to get a master's degree, and I'm just going to have my bachelor's in psychology and become a fucking guidance counselor.
Oh God, help you! I would freak out too.
And that
I was freaking out.
That was pretty much.
Except it wasn't nightly walks. Holy shit! You were taking nightly walks.
Yeah.
How far did you go?
It was pretty much every night for almost an entire semester. Like once I got maybe like around half a semester. I don't know. It was like a long time. It was when I found out I wasn't doing good in my classes.
Well, how far would you walk?
I would go to the we were in the west central part, northwest central part of campus. I would go all the way to the east side of campus sometimes. Like the very
That's a
east
solid
edge.
4 miles round trip.
Like, yeah, I would go to Little Hall a lot and like climb up the trees and pick the fruit and eat them.
You would climb. Wow.
I was really big into climbing.
No judgment.
Remember that?
Wow.
Kind of throw that back to the light
as
post.
As we earlier established, clearly you missed your calling, which was free. No harness climbing of rock faces. That's what you should have been.
Yep.
Where was the guidance counselor then, you fucks?
Yep. Barely went to the guidance counselors at all.
That is one hell of a stress relief activity. Go back to your lecture hall and climb the trees and eat the fruit.
Yeah. I would also call my parents and to kind of just vent. And that was a good part of that first semester. But the first thing that really helped me was something that my dad told me when I was talking to him, like when I was in my nightly freak out. It was really great. So he asked me, think about every person who has done what you're trying to do, getting this master's degree. Can you honestly tell me every single one of those people who's ever done this is better than you? And so I thought for a second, it's like, well, no, I don't believe that. I don't think everyone who's ever graduated from this program is better than me. It's like, okay, well, since I'm not worse than anyone who's ever done it, then I can do it. Simple logic there. So it's just just a matter of getting into the right routine, and I'd be able to do it. So I didn't get a lower than a C in any of my classes the first semester. I didn't do super great, but I could make it up. She did very not super great, but I did well enough to not just flunk out outright in the first semester.
That's all you gotta do.
Yep. So next semester, kind of bounced around my brain that I can do this, and also another really big thing is I became friends with a lot of my classmates. So, JR especially. JR.
You mean the next president of the United States?
Yeah, one day. And
he's not too busy making a shitload of money.
Yeah, Eric. It was cool. One of the cool things was actually less, and it's interesting. Less than half of my class was Americans. Like about a third of my class was American, and about a third of them were Chinese, who came directly from China, and a third of them were Indians, came directly from India.
As opposed to those French Chinese we had covered earlier.
Yeah, Eric was the French Chinese. There was actually there were two French guys. Hated is a strong word. Did not like too much. They were like, God, there was especially this one guy who was so French. He was like the Frenchiest French guy who ever Frenched. He wasn't even our major.
Wait, you Frenched a French guy?
I didn't French a French guy. He was very Frenchy. He was such a douchebag, and he wasn't even in our program. He took a class with us. He was getting his degree in the entrepreneurship.
Ah, yes.
The douchiest major in the business school, I guess. I didn't really do any research into that.
But, let's just assume it's true.
But yeah, just dumping on the States in general. It's like, in France, we have free Wi-Fi everywhere, and it's good. Here it sucks. Fucking bigger than France. And you know what? Go.
You know what you could
and
do?
Also, you know what? Go to the countryside in France and tell me that. You probably just some Parisian.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Anyway, not all that important. There was also a dude from who was pretty interesting from Morocco. There's a few Korean guys. There's a dude who always came into class drunk.
Wow.
He always had a buzz going. He's a good guy, and he passed. And him and his buddy, him and this Indian dude, always hanging out together, and they're just coming drunk, smoking from smelling of cigarettes. But yeah, very chill dudes, good guys, and hey, they pulled it off, so why not?
Wow, they did.
They totally pulled it. No, they did fine. They have good jobs. I'm on LinkedIn with them, and every once in a while I kind of see where everyone's at. And no, they're doing good.
Oh, that's good.
So again, whatever you can handle, there's not one path, even in college. Like if you can do it drunk, and you want to, go for it. That's the real lesson today, kids.
Yep. Passable drunk. That's totally fine.
If you can do it without medication or overly medicate yourself on whatever you got to do.
Figure out your own medication strategy and get drunk
and
if you
focus.
can pull it off.
So.
Yes, focus.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be the main.
So yeah. So it's interesting. So I became friends with a lot of people in my program. A lot of really good people. The best thing I did was studying in a group. That really helped me out too. And there's when the time came to study, we would just be in the study hall all day, late into the night, every day. The week before our midterms and finals, we would just live there basically. And that helped so much, and also kind of being able to ask each other questions for the programming assignments we had. It's like, hey, how would you go about doing this? It's like, oh, I would use an array to do that. It's like, oh no, that's not an array list. Oh, I guess you could do an array list. Whatever.
Yeah, that's a huge takeaway right there.
Yeah, did that help?
Something I never learned until way late was the networking aspect. I didn't really understand what networking meant.
Yeah.
But that's it right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's nothing more than just spitballing and throwing ideas at people, saying, hey, rather than just bullheadedly going towards a solution, run the solution by someone else and you'll save yourself who the hell knows how much time.
Yeah. So.
And maybe an entire life.
Yeah, kind of those words of wisdom from my dad, and like studying in a group a lot more, and kind of and also just having people who were taking the same class as me. Like, again, I didn't feel lonely at all. So it was the most I was ever studying, and the hardest I ever worked in school, and it was producing results. It was also the most I partied because remember, I was 20 at the start of grad school, and that was my first semester. I became 21 by the time I came back for the spring semester, and that's when I became friends with a whole bunch of people, and that's when I could legally drink, and I did a lot.
Oh yeah.
So I did a good amount of studying, but like every weekend, I mean, we would get smashed. Like we would an obscene amount of alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Me, my buddies from ISOM, Matt. And sometimes Danny would come. He didn't drink nearly as much as we did.
He's the responsible.
He was the responsible one, yes. But
he owned a Toyota.
Eventually, he did. Not at that. Maybe at that point he did.
I think he did. I mean, they had that scandal back in 2009. He immediately got on top of that and got himself.
Oh yeah.
A Toyota. I think he's still driving.
That fake scandal. No, he's got. I think it's still Toyota or something, but it's a different one. He got another one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I was like slowly crawling my way back up to a 3.0. My program was only a year and a half. So it was only 3 semesters. So I didn't have a whole lot of time to climb back up. And in the summer, did an internship. So like we were saying in Matt's episode, internships were really hard to get. And our program required you to have an internship. Like, you couldn't graduate without it. So they had if you're not able to get an internship, there's like an emergency fallback where you can intern at this department at UF. And it was
that must have been nice.
They were in charge. It was like in charge of the IT HR software, or the HR software. So they dealt in payroll and HR stuff, from an IT perspective. So
what's that? Emergency fallback where you don't have to try? Guess where Burt landed?
I mean, once we got into it, we had to, work. So yeah.
You have like office chair races or some bullshit?
Yeah. So.
Okay.
I mean, I think that regular intern stuff. So, anyway, but yeah, so me and JR both did that internship because a lot of either people got like great grades, which was like the Indians and the Chinese people. They were the guys who were kicking ass, from a grade point average standpoint, and then like almost all the Americans, like the majority of them, it seemed like were in fraternities. And so they had connections, and so that's how they got there.
How many interns were over there?
I think there was like 5 or 6 of us that ended up interning where I was.
Well, not just in your program.
Oh, in my entire program?
Did that department take interns from other majors?
No, I think it was just us.
Oh, okay. All right, so the Indians and the Chinese are kicking ass.
Yeah, and the frat boys and the sorority sisters, they got connections, so they got in wherever. Then the rest of us just ended up interning at UF.
Well, when you say the rest of us, what's that leave?
So, it's me, Jay.
Three?
No, like that's what I said. Like there's like 5 or 6 of us.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, so I did good work there, but a good portion of it was just hitting on this other intern.
Nice.
Yeah, you know her, Sheila. We eventually
I didn't realize she was an intern.
Yeah,
that's right. She was an intern.
That's where I met her, and then we went out until the end of grad school.
Right.
So yeah, it was a good summer though. I was carpooling with JR, and yeah, kind of started going out with another intern there, and yeah, it's pretty good. So that was the summer before our last semester, and it was like really on the razor's edge of being able to graduate. And now another part of this was, okay, there's graduating, but assuming I did graduate, what was I going to do after that? And what I should have done is gone to the Career Resource Center a lot more, but I didn't. And that kind of held me back, I think. And
they don't know what they're doing over there.
I think they would know more with my major than yours. I think JR.
Fair point.
I think JR said he got some good stuff from them, and he got a really good job right out of grad school. So yeah, and he didn't have any. He didn't have any connections.
That was more a combination.
Also, JR's.
I think it was more of a combination of the major plus the internship. I'm convinced of that.
But yeah, probably another big reason why JR got a good job right out the gate is he's a super personable person. He is really friendly, becomes friends with everyone.
I think he got me a vote
just a real...
when I ran for office.
Oh, yeah?
I think so. Sorry. I just wanted to throw that in there for the personable aspect.
Yeah, really stand-up guy. Yeah, he got a really good job and very much deserved.
Spying on the American people.
Yeah.
God bless you, sir.
Well, he wasn't doing any of the spying. He was purchasing
helping with the logistics.
He was purchasing the apparatus to do the spying.
Okay. Well, it's a team effort to invade people's liberties.
Yeah. Hey, if anyone's invading your liberties, it's at least it's good that it's JR. It's like if anyone's going to do it, I would pick JR.
I guess. If you meet him first, you'll just give him everything.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
Is he still in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, he's still in Pittsburgh.
Oh, should have sold him that painting.
So kind of crunch time, trying to get my GPA high enough, not doing enough, looking for a job while, my last semester. So at the very end of the semester, I didn't I didn't know if I was going to be graduating. I actually didn't know until the morning of the graduation ceremony, because I really needed to get like the last of my grades in, and they weren't all in yet. So I went to
You said the morning of.
Morning of. So the morning of the graduation ceremony, I found there's one grade unaccounted for, and I think I needed an A. I think so. Either an A or a B plus. Also, UF started doing the minus system, which kind of fucked me up. Made it harder in my last semester. So,
yeah, just a tad.
Yeah, so it made that little bit more harder, a little harder. So
like Burt, we need a home run, and it's got to be a home run of 400 feet.
Yeah, but
this ain't no basket situation.
I did it. So yeah, I found my professor at his office in the morning before the graduation ceremony and asked him, "Hey, what's my grade?" Because I had one more. He had to grade my final project, and it's a computer programming project. So he actually really nice guy, Professor Itu. He looked at it, right there, he hadn't looked at it yet, and went through the program. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, this is good. You'll get an A." It was like, great. So I found out I was going to graduate right before I walked, probably 2 hours before I walked. That's how razor and man, my GPA was a 3.0009, I think. It was razor's edge.
Nice. Ding.
Yeah. So I graduated. I got to graduated with JR and Eric and other friends there.
Everyone's looking sideways at you like, oh god.
No, the
degree doesn't say the number on it. The degree should say the number on it.
Thank God it didn't.
Just to let everybody know.
Thank God most people didn't ask for the number afterwards.
Really? I know they have class rankings, but that's not enough.
It's all the same degree. I got the I got the exact same degree as the all those Chinese students who got 4.0s and
Oh my God.
lost their shit at the prospect of not getting an A plus.
Weirdos.
Yeah.
This is how it works, baby.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I was able to graduate, but and that that was all great and everything. Then me dicking around, not doing enough to find a job. Also, still the depression or recession. So not a whole lot of people hiring, and not exactly sure what I should be doing job wise. I after graduating, I moved back home with my parents and was unemployed for 6 months.
Yeah, that's about right.
Finally got my first job, and man, was that a doozy. But we'll go into that at a later episode. And yeah, that's it's my story of from college academy to graduate school. Basically dicking around, and then really pulling it together at the end every time.
Yeah. Or the definition of I don't have to be the best. I just have to be exactly, statistically, estimably right on the line.
Yeah. Now
the line is wide.
Yeah, definitely learned pretty quick.
The skinniest of us.
Yeah, I mean that you can do that in college, but that doesn't really fly in the real world when you have a job. You can't just fuck around for a while and then clean up. So
sure.
I at least I mean that's what I like working way better than being a student because there is a time that you stop and you can just free your mind of it. You get paid for doing this work instead of having to pay to do this work. And also,
this is true.
And also because they're paying you, because they're depending on you, that gave me incentive to do the work. So that's where I'm able to work at max efficiency is when I know that people or entities are depending on me for doing the work and doing it well. Then I can focus.
There you go. We just fixed the education system right there, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, if you
pay students,
having students depend on each other, yeah, actually, maybe, but
actually giving them some sort of incentive, some sort of responsibility.
Yeah, because again, it was up until that point, it was all whatever, is kind of an abstract concept of just getting your degree and then things happen after that.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you getting your degree? What are you going to go into? They don't go into this enough. They just expect teenagers to figure it out. But yeah, I eventually, luckily, the degree that I did get was actually a good one, and I, I'll get into this further in a different episode. But I did land into the right job for it, and a job that I actually like. So
what is exactly your degree? Just to wrap it up.
Degree is is in the School of Business.
Master of what?
Okay, so it was in the School of Business, but it wasn't an MBA. It was a Master's of Science. So it was an MS in Information Systems and Operations Management. Now,
Gotcha.
The reason why it was a science degree as opposed to just a business administration degree was because there's computer programming and computer science in it. So because there was science in it,
Gotcha.
They made it a Master of Science instead of an MBA.
And thus you are entitled to less money. Got it. Because you are a technical person, not management person.
Oh, I'm a technical management person.
Still below sole management person.
I suppose. But you can work your way up into that.
I suppose.
So, yeah, that was my college career. Good amount of dicking around, and but still sticking the landing just barely. I was the most efficient.
Is a three.
Yep. I was the most efficient student, I think, in the history of the world. as far as studying
You're
goes.
you're not supposed to waste. Yeah, why are you wasting those extra GPA points?
Yeah. What are they going to get you in the end? None. That I've been at it. So I graduated. So I got my master's degree when I was 21, and people didn't really ask for my GPA, A, and B. When I told them that, there's oh shit, like who gets a master's degree at 21?
Right. And that still wasn't good enough to get a job.
No,
Not really.
not really. I mean, technically they couldn't ask for my age, so they assumed I was like 24, 25. So it was
like a tie
it was
and
only
a coat that are way too big.
so it was
Fucking little rascal in this shit.
yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we could sign off then.
Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, we'll kind of start getting into episodes where me and Matt both get into our careers more after school, and some good stories about that. Oh man, was there a joke that? Fuck, I think so.
If you want to think about it, I actually had to hit the head.
Wait, no. We're about to sign off. Let me see if I can remember that.
Well, I don't know if you had. Did you have a joke?
No, remember like when we were like before we started the episode. Oh yeah, it was UCF. Another UCF joke. I think it was the UCF. No, no. Oh, you know what? Oh, damn, totally forgot. It's a good thing I remember because while I was freaking out in graduate school, this is what you were talking about that you reminded me.
Oh, the real freak out.
The real freak out. So when it hit,
I didn't want to press. I didn't want to press the issue because I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it.
No, that's fine. It was good.
I was like, oh, okay, you want to talk about these other freakouts? That's fine.
No, it was part of the grad school freak out, and
Excellent. Let me turn the lights down real quick.
It really, so it really, it's kind of like the tipping point there. So I freaked out so bad that I decided, fuck grad school, I'm gonna join the army. So
right, yeah.
So I
you think you got freaked out? I got a fucking phone call
from Danny,
from fucking
yeah.
Danny.
So I told Dan,
and then I get a phone call from you, or I called you.
Me.
I don't know what the hell.
You
happened.
called me when I was on the bus to the recruiting office.
Hey, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna go join the army. You want to come? I'm like, no, dude. I'm doing my own thing.
All right.
Blah 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 blah. I definitely didn't convince you.
So okay.
Otherwise,
so this is what happened.
I don't even know how that rest of that conversation went. That's what I remember. Okay, hey, you want to come join the army with me? I'm like, no, you fucking psycho.
I don't even think I asked you then. I thought like after the fact, we were kind of discussing it.
It sounded kind of. I know you were still considering it, is what it sounded like in conversations after the fact.
No.
And I started passive aggressively talking about it, like, hey, let's play some Halo. Hey, look at all these dead guys.
No,
is that what you want to be?
No, this is what happened. So I decided to join the army. I told Daniel. So I was in the dorm. You weren't there. Daniel was. I told him, and then I left him with that information.
Right. Yeah.
So I just walked out of the dorm. And so what I did is I went to the bus stop, the number 1 bus out of where the Rights Union is, and it goes down into Butler Plaza, and that's where an Army recruitment office was. So I was taking so I got on the bus, and while I was on the bus, I got the call from you after Danny called you, was freaking out, trying to find me, and then what you said was. If I was going to do it, to be careful. Don't like sign up for a whole bunch of tours. Basically don't let them fuck you over. You weren't just outright saying don't do it.
Well, yeah, all that's going to do is push you faster and harder into doing it. It's like you're trying to stop a boulder going downhill, and you're behind the fucking thing.
I understand your reasoning, but I don't think it would have mattered. So this is how it went down.
I don't think so. No.
So I got to the recruitment office for the Army. I don't know why I picked the Army out of all of them. It's the most pain in the ass one, except maybe the Marines. So I went to the army recruiting guy sitting there. I said, I'm thinking about enlisting. He's like, all right. First thing we're gonna have you do is take you this, this general intelligence test to see like where you would fit. And I was like, all right, sure. So I was freaking out about grad school, but I'm still a grad school student taking an Army intelligence test. And he told me like, the scores, like, you have to get like, say, an 80 on the test and this is not like percent, like just points, and it's like up to 100 something points, whatever, to be like, like a Army Ranger, or, like a real special forces kind of guy. I'm like, all right, yep. Whatever. I was just in a state of like being freaked out. But I took the test, and then it was like it was on the computer, so the results came out like automatically. And so the recruiter saw my test scores, and he was like, it was like really high.
Starts doing a fucking dance on the test.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, so you could like do whatever you want. We probably want you to go into, we probably want you to go into officer school, and you come out as like whatever the lowest level of enlisted officer is, probably like a second lieutenant. Second lieutenant. That's what I figured. But like while he was talking to me, like after I took the test, like it's like I don't know, I guess the fear was starting to wear off, and I was starting to realize what the hell I was doing, and like I was just like, man, you know what? No. I didn't tell him that. Like I was, but like he, this dude, like while he was talking to me, he got like a call from someone else. He's like, yeah, I got to call you back. This dude popped like this score on the test, and like it's like he was really excited. It's like, oh my god, you got this score? Can I like blow you? Like, Jesus, do whatever the hell you want. Just join up, man.
Oh man. So what was it? His excitement that kind of freaked you out? Like,
no, it wasn't any of. I don't think it was any of that. It was just slowly dawning on me that I really didn't need to do this. Like
if it was that easy to do this.
Well, it was like I'm doing this to run away from graduate school. Like it's fucking stupid. It's really fucking stupid. I could do literally anything else that would require so much of me. Mm-hmm. I'm not knocking joining the military. It's just like that's not the reason to do it, to get out of grad school.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's an outstanding point.
Yeah. So if you have a good reason to do it, and like a lot of people like come from like military families, and it's like a point of honor for them.
Most people sign up for the money. It's the money.
There's also the money. Yeah, you get a okay paycheck. Yeah, there's plenty of reason, or to plan out your future. Like I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a war based on what's going on in the world. So if I could just get in the Army, spend a few years in it, get out, and then just go on the GI Bill and get free college tuition, boom, or any combination of those reasons. I had none of those reasons really. So while he was talking to me, it's like, yeah, I'm probably not gonna do this. So I said, thanks for the information. That's what I came for, the information. I want to talk to my dad about this, and left and never went back. So, and that was
a nice job. Well, at least you came to the conclusion on your own.
Yeah. Now what you were talking about was the possibility, just like say if we were drafted, in this like some theoretical war with say North Korea or whatever the fuck. Like, would you go? And I definitely, at that point, it's like, yeah, I definitely, I wouldn't like go to Canada or anything. I'd go, and I think your answer was different. It was like, nope, not doing that.
Well, yeah, what were the wars we were in at the time? You're talking 2010, 2011, so the Iraq War was just then kind of winding down.
Yeah,
we were only officially out of Iraq back in 11.
Yeah,
and so at this time we were still there.
Yeah,
we were still there doing what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, weren't even like thinking about what really could have happened. That theoretically we would get drafted. Probably wasn't even thinking about North Korea. Like, yeah, everything that was happening was still like Middle East, and at that point, everyone was like, "Why the hell are we even doing this? Why did we do this? Like, especially like in Iraq."
Right. Yeah. No.
Yeah. So
people were asking that for a solid 5 years prior and beyond.
Yep.
We were there since 2003, in case anybody forgot.
Yeah.
And for no fucking reason at all, or for reasons that we were lied to about. So I was very
this was in like, I guess,
anti being over there.
Yeah, this was like 2008 when this went down with us.
Oh, this was before grad school? I thought you said you were in grad school.
I was in grad school. This was like the
this is
the first semester. So this is the fall semester. So this is 2008 going into 2009.
Oh,
it was still
my timeline was a little bit messed up.
So we were in the back end of 2008 at this point.
Well, then that makes even more sense because that was even worse. Those wars were, not fucking going anywhere fast, and they're. I'm not gonna say they're right back where they were, but holy shit.
No, they're even worse.
Yeah. Awesome job. Yeah. Nice job, boys.
Yep. Now Iran's taking over Iraq.
Fantastic.
Yep. So that was my college experience.
Pussy. No, I wasn't gonna go.
Yeah, I know. I would have, but
yeah, not a chance.
Yeah.
No. No. But if I was drafted, I should have done, go back to that research thing. Just research what they have available.
Yeah, you know what?
A million different jobs.
Yeah, it's not like, like most.
All I kept thinking was frontline infantry.
Yeah.
This is where I'm going to end up.
There's almost no. I mean, if you didn't want to be, like, again, you were, a college student. Like, they probably probably would have found some kind of other job. Like most people in the Army aren't frontline people, like, or even combat units. There's like so much like support that goes into running the military.
Exactly.
You could have just been behind a desk the entire time.
Would have been the best decision I ever.
It might have been.
Yeah. Oh well, alternate universe. Mm-hmm. All right, you want to sign off?
Yeah. I mean, I'm at the 2 hour and 35 mark, so.
Yeah, I have been holding it for quite some time.
Sorry about that. All right. Well,
don't worry about it.
All right, everyone. We're out. Again, you can give us your feedback or your questions at hopesomething.sticks@gmail.com, and we'll see you later.
Go to war, meatbags. Peace out.
Bye.